ladies and gentlemen, I will try to turn to English. In the telecoms world, we often call this smart infrastructure next generation infrastructures. And I have prepared this short presentation for you, which on the one side I will try to avoid getting into too technical issues. On the other side, this presentation will try to shed some light on some economics and on some statistics of these new generation networks. Looking into the near future, there is one platform to deliver them all. IP-based platforms can deliver all the services in all their variety to all the customers and citizens through one single network. One interesting feature is that these various services and applications have various needs in terms of speed, in terms of quality of service requirements. For example, if we look on the graph here, we can see that the classical email or browsing is not consuming too much resources as compared to IPTV, voice over IP, or cloud computing. What does this mean? This means that the quality of service management and the data rate becomes more and more profitable as a business for the telecom operators. Economically, broadband networks can be seen as two-sided markets. They can be seen as economic platforms having two distinct groups that provide each other with the benefits of the network. On the one hand, we've got the content and the application providers. On the other hand, we've got the end users, and these two parties get connected, and they share and communicate each other via these broadband networks. Now, this is important because the economic viability of the business models of these broadband networks relies on to the extent to which both parties pay for the use of the platform. This is important also in the context of the net neutrality issues, which is a key to the viability of the platform. While patents and private networks challenge more often and more strongly the open access and what we know as the internet. I've also tried to shed some light on how does it work to ensure the bandwidth for the subscribers, for the end users, because with more and more users getting online to access the services and the applications, providing them with enough bandwidth for all the applications becomes a tricky challenge. I tried to illustrate here that depending on what types of networks we speak about, the response of the network can be very different. For illustrative purposes, I use an example from one very prestigious company, one of the most respected consulting companies in Europe. Just to show that, for example, to provide a broadband speed of, let's say, 40 megabits per subscriber can be delivered in most various ways using the fixed and the mobile networks. And what makes the difference between them is the shared environment. That is, in the case of the fixed networks, the shared transmission part, while in the mobile networks it is the radio access network, so the air interface. Put it in another words, if you need to provide, if you would like as an operator to double your speed to the end users, this can be done nearly costless for a fixed access operator, but when it comes to the mobile, you have to double your costs in the mobile access. Now to some statistics, turning to more pleasant ones and easier to understand. The first thing, if we look on these statistics, is that on a countrywide basis, the supply of next generation access networks looks reasonably good. In our country, nearly 3/4 of the households are already covered with the next generation access networks capable to allow download speeds of at least 30 megabits per second. So if you look on the map of Europe, this is similar to the speeds in Germany, Spain. This is indeed a little bit less than in the UK, but it is significantly higher than in France or in Poland. So we can say that we've got very good networks here. Turning on the other side, the demand, the super-fast broadband seems robust, at least on a comparative basis with other countries. So nearly half of the fixed broadband connections in our country are capable to deliver 30 megabits per second. These statistics are at the end of 2012. This is way higher than in all the other countries in the EU. So, and the further we climb the ladder of speed, the further we think of higher speeds, we are a country which is better positioned. For example, for 100 megabits per second, in terms of download speeds, we were in the top 3. What can we call the hyper-fast growth? And I would conclude my very short presentation with some statistics on our city, on Bucharest. Almost everybody knows that Bucharest accounts for 9% of the population and roughly a little bit more than 21% of the country GDP. So based on this, it is very sensible to suppose that Bucharest is better positioned on all economic indicators than the rest of the country, including on the broadband ones. The question would be how much is better positioned? Well, the answer, we cannot provide very specific answers, because on the one hand, the more granular statistics are, the harder it and more expensive are to get. On the other hand, even if we've had them, if we look on a very granular basis, there are some confidentiality issues which we cannot put on the table. So at a glance, what we can say is that the broadband market in Bucharest is very competitive. It's characterized by a large number of players. We counted at the end of December 2012, we counted 150 network providers. Out of these 150, 123 networks are capable to provide services above 30 megabits per second. Now you can imagine that at these very large numbers there is a progressive consolidation observed, especially in terms of the small players. Also considering these figures, it's a very interesting thing to note that there is a significant degree of networks overlapping, because there are more networks serving one customer in terms of home pass. Of course, customers don't take 3 or 4 fixed broadband subscriptions, but there are 2.4 million homes passed with a fixed broadband network, which means that we've got 3 networks per home on average in the city. In terms of take-up rates of fixed broadband, they are quite significant. So we've got 600,000 broadband connections for a total household of roughly 700,000 households. So last, as a conclusion, existing telecom networks in Bucharest, in our view, are capable to deliver super fast and even hyper fast broadband nearly everywhere. This is mainly triggered by the fact that almost all fixed broadband lines have incorporated some fiber elements into them, and you can see in the graphs that, for example, considering the distribution of fixed access networks per technologies, the DSL technologies have been surpassed by more competitive fiber technologies, the fiber going to homes, fiber going to buildings. And we can say, of course, that these existing telecom networks can support a next generation city, to which we are very proud of. I would like to end my presentation by saying that we also need to work together to make sure that these networks are able to support the next generation city over a long time, and that the competitive gains which we've got in the last decade are not lost due to other considerations in the short run. Thank you.